Hi, everyone.
Everyone. Super excited to bring up two of our superstars in the community, Lauren Henderson and Vicky Wong, to talk about using Power Automate streamlines data operations in K-12 schools. So thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Vicky. So excited to have you all here today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Oh, I guess it's my cue. So everyone, thank you so much for coming. And if you put in the chat what school you're coming from or where you're at, that will be great. And this presentation is meant to be a good push for you to start using Power Automate, and we're going to help you get started. So let's go to the next slide.
So, hi, I'm Lauren Henderson. I am currently the IT database administrator at Dexter Southfield, which is a pre-K through 12 independent day school outside of Boston, Massachusetts.
And I'm Vicky Wong. I'm the Director of Research and Advancement Information Systems at University School in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, so here's the agenda. We will have a little brief introductions of both our schools and how we got started using Power Automate and where we are at right now. And then we'll give some flow examples, especially there are some that you can already copy and download into your environment. Lauren, you want to talk about the next?
Sure. We'll talk about how you get a developer's account with Blackbaud, which you'll need to work with the APIs, and also go over how to use the API reference that's published. And we'll also go over the Blackbaud community, how to join it, where to ask your questions, where you can find the Power Automate and other templates within the community, and how to get those out so that you can start using them. And once you build your own template, how you can submit it for the rest of us to share in the goodness.
Thank you. Oh, so a little bit about University School. So we are a all-boys K-12 school covering 2 campuses in the suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio. Our school size is about 850 students, and we are all they're all day students. And we've been using Blackbaud from education management to Raiser's Edge to Financial Edge, and we've been using it since 2006. And we were previously Whipple Hill School, so not just Blackbaud, and we were previously using the Whipple Hill platform before Blackbaud purchased Whipple Hill. And we are also a Microsoft environment. We use SharePoint groups in advancement, admissions, and each of the department have various folders that we manage the data from within our SharePoint groups. A little bit about my journey to Power Automate. I work in advancement most of the time, and I've evolved moving towards education on the education side. So if anybody remembered that one day in November of 2021, Blackbaud decided to send an email that says, hey, we're going to disconnect you from the Microsoft integration with Razor's Edge. And we have to quickly find a solution. And I was looking for various different vendors who could do the gift acknowledgement merge for us. And somehow I landed with Heather McLean, who did the presentation, and she said, "Hey, Vicki, you can do that too." I'm like, really? So to make a long story short, I hired Ashley Moose just for 16 hours, set up a template, purely a template. It's not, my full-blown gift acknowledgement. But within a couple of months, I was able to get all gift acknowledgement letters, all built from within Power Automate, just in time for the discontinuation of the integration. Then now, during that time, so that's back in 2022. In 2023, I actually have also partnered with Ashley to build a couple of sorry about that, to build a couple of Power Automate flows on the education management side for me. You will learn about that in a little while. But now it's about 3 years later, we have Power Automate, several Power Automate flows for education management, Razor's Edge, that feeds into maybe Power BI reports, and we have a Power App. So you can do it too. And along the way, I have to also plug in the fact that I have the support of our Power Automate user group mentors. There are a lot of people in that from within that group, and Eric is the host of the Power Automate user group. And if Eric can drop the Power Automate user group link so that people can sign up. We meet once a month on a Tuesday Tuesday at noon. I think it's the third Tuesday. And you can also go on the community, and you can ask a lot of questions from within the community and download, showcase, template so that you can use it. And I'm going to stop for now, and Lauren, it's your turn.
Vicki, I just love your enthusiasm and that you just can't stop talking about the wonderful things that you've done and accomplished in the past few years. Do you have the next slide?
Oh, sorry, got it.
Hey, so talk about my school a little bit more. We are, as I said, a pre-K through 12 co-ed day school located just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And we'll be celebrating our 100th anniversary this coming year. So that's generating a lot of excitement on campus around that. Is there, oh, there is, okay, great, thank you. We have about 1,100 students across our ages, which cover 3 divisions for our lower, middle, and upper schools. And I started working at the school after they had already decided to bring on Blackbaud Education Management and decided that they needed somebody to help manage the back end of it. It was Education Management and Financial Edge that were being implemented at the same time. The school had been using Razor's Edge for several years prior to that. But I got thrown into the pan a couple months before we went live to our whole community with Education Management and Financial Edge for our business office. And it's been a really fun and exciting ride ever since.
And so I wanted to add one point to my relationship with Lauren, because I was listening to the keynote, and Lauren and I are co-conspirators. So, here we are doing our presentation, trying to get more co-conspirators into our group.
And if I could just add to that, I first saw Vicki, I believe it was at Dev Days 3 years ago, maybe, when she was presenting with Stephen Boyle about all this developer stuff. And I was like, this is somebody who knows what she's doing and somebody that I need to meet. So we happened to be at BBCon that year, and I went up and introduced myself, and I'm so happy to be here and presenting with you today, Vicki.
Thank you. And we want to know all of you, by the way, because the group is small, but it's mighty, and I want to make it grow more and bigger. So here are some of the Power Automate Flow examples that I like to talk about. And the first one, this is actually the one that I asked Ashley to do. It's a user audit flow. So if you ever have people outside of the technology department that updates user profile, this is actually a very good flow that I scheduled to send to me an audit, a list of profile changes that happened the night before. It has proven to be very useful for us to catch any type of personnel changes or phone numbers of parents that have changes, emails, and things like that. So we've been using it for actually as long as we've gotten it. So it's also in the template showcase, and we'll show you how to find it and download it and for your own use.
I'll be showing my enrollment and withdrawal flows out of education management that I built advanced lists to pull out of season enrollments and withdrawals, and then send an email with that information to our internal teams, people who needed that information to be able to update their own systems and not be emailing people that weren't there anymore, and make sure they were including the new students and their families.
And then this is one of the flows this is the flow that I've submitted to the template showcase. It's an advanced list file transfer. So if you have advanced lists that you need to run regularly, you can use this Power Automate flow to schedule a download of that advanced list, and you can put it anywhere in your SharePoint folder. So, and I'm going to do a quick demo of the Power Automate call that does the advanced list download. And then on the Razor's Edge side, as you know, we have gift acknowledgement flows, and there are flow templates from gift acknowledgement letters. And I don't know if there are any advancement folks there. I've created this gift attribute flow, which at some point I will make it shareable. It's with regards to gift constituency at the time the gift was made. Very often in a K-12 environment, your constituency changes. A parent may give a senior gift when they are a senior, when they're a parent, but the next year their gift constituency has changed, and this will capture the gift constituency at the time the gift was made, and also who the fundraiser was more accurately, and I can easily pull that. And then I've started dabbling on Query API, where I pull a constituent record from Razor's Edge. Actually, it's quite useful. We put that into good use. And we also have vendors that we have to do any type of external vendor file transfer. So we're using Power Automate to do that too.
So there's some licenses and accounts that you'll need to create to begin building and using your Sky API and other data to pull them into Power Automate to make them do whatever you need them to. So for the Sky API, which includes Education Management, Raiser's Edge NXT, and Financial Edge NXT, there's a fantastic endpoint reference for all of those products, and we'll go into that a little more later. But you'll want to set up your developer account. It's free. The link is there, and thank you, Eric, for popping that into the chat for us. It's a very simple process to get set up with your account so that you then have the access to, yes, the secret decoder ring for the APIs and what all the endpoints do, and we'll get you. The Power Automate Premium per user license, you'll need to have at least one of those. I wasn't able to verify the cost of what we're paying for it, but it's not expensive. It should be under $10 a month per license. And I do recommend having at least two. That way, when you go off and win the lottery, if you've shared your flows with your service account or another user, then your school or organization will still have access to those after you've gone and bought your island and are not looking at a computer ever again.
And in my case, we use the Q module to export the data from Raiser's Edge, and then use FTP and run a Power Automate flow to get the data from the Microsoft environment, and then put it into the external vendor's environment. So here's creating your developer's account. So I think Eric has dropped the link in the chat. All you need to do is to click on Get Started, and then they will see if you have a Sky API or Blackbaud ID. And then if you don't have a Sky API, you can just click on the button to start signing up for the developer's account. So quickly we go through, are you interested in becoming a Blackbaud partner? I feel like if you're a developer, you're actually in with the group of all the other Blackbaud partners, companies that are partnering with Blackbaud. And then once you got the account, all you need to do is to click on the API reference on the top, and then click on Education Management in this demo case. And from Education Management, you have to click on the School API, and I think there's also Enrollment Management, One Roster, and School API. And I don't know why the navigation is right there, but sometimes it's hard to find. So I want to make sure, I want to point out that is the endpoint reference guide. And then once you're there, what I am demoing, once you're there, you will see to the left all the various different APIs, and there are multiple pages. So you don't forget to use the left and right arrow navigation. And there's also the search operation. So for you to pull an advanced list, you need the get list single, okay? And in this case, it's right there. It's in the second page. And then, actually, maybe the last page, something like that. And then all you need to do is to use the try it button. So let's quickly go through that if you have not gone through using the try it button, because this is actually my favorite thing to do to make sure my Power Automate flow is working correctly, or testing, if you have a vendor that is using the same, that's using Sky API, you can actually see what they're what they are using and how it's going to, and what the data looks like. So here's the list single, and I click on the try it button to the right. Sometimes if you have large screen, you may not see that try it button. Or maybe, and here's my list ID. So it's an advanced list, and the list ID is 146701. And that from that point on, you have to make sure you get the authorization code, and all you need to do is click authorize. And then in the subscription key, you just use the primary standard API subscription key. And if the dropdown doesn't show up, your subscription key is on the top menu in your developer's account, so you can find it either way. And then in here, and then you drop in your list ID. And in this case, all you need to do is to click the send button, and sometimes I just can't see the send button, but it's all the way down in the bottom. And then it will, then if it's okay, then it will list out all the records. And with the get HTTP call, you can only get 1,000 records at a time with a pay per page. And then you have to increment per page in your Power Automate flow to get all the records if it's over 1,000. It's actually in part of my flow, so I do it so you don't have to, kind of. And then this is actually the send HTTP call with the loop count. So it will loop until the number of records is pulled, and then it will then put the list in a CSV file into your SharePoint folder. Lauren.
So once you've got your developer account set up and you've been playing around with the APIs, or not yet, a Blackbaud community is also a really great resource to connect on projects and see what other people are up to troubleshoot any issues that you may be having. Anybody can join the Blackbaud community. And once you're there, if you go to the Sky developer community and discussions, then you can search or browse or post, connect with other people who are using the Sky APIs to do different things, and not just for schools. There are many other organizations that are using it as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, if you get your community account and go into your own profile and products, you can choose Sky Developer so that it's a little easier to navigate to when you log in to the community. And the Microsoft Power Platform forum is specific to Power Automate, Power BI. I think there are some other features that are used specifically with Razor's Edge, and they're in there as well. So another fantastic resource is the template showcase, which Vicky mentioned, which is where people have built out flows and then shared them to the community so that everybody can access them and use them if they are applicable to their own situation or products. And there are a lot of templates in there, which is great. And hopefully there will be lots more coming. So you can sort by the difficulty level, the category solution, which is Blackbaud solution, Razor's Edge, NXT, education management, and then the type of template that you're looking for. Specific to this presentation, we're talking about Power Automate. So click the Power Automate button, and then that will show you all of the flows that conform to those criteria. And I've added just a screenshot of what the enrollments flow template looks like when you click into it.
Okay.
And when you click on the Go to Sample Flow button from the showcase, it will take you back into the community to the post where the person who shared the template has the actual file to download, as well as instructions and guidance about the flow. And you'll need to open or import the file into your instance of Power Automate from the zip file that's contained in the community post. And there will certainly be some editing that will need to happen to customize the solution to your environment and connect it to your own data and information.
So here's me trying to download Lauren's flow. So here's my Power Automate, and all you account. All I have to do is to click on the import package. And after downloading it from the template showcase, so the zip file is already in my folder. So all I have to do is to open up my Power Automate and then click on the import package and then put in the zip file. And then all I need to do is to, in this particular case, I always have to create as new in the import setup, and then re-authenticate with my login for my school. So, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. And then from that point on, you can edit the flow to email to yourself if there are any, enrollment changes and things like that.
And so the other thing we want to promote is the sharing of flows that have been built out. And you do that by contributing to the Power Platform template showcase at the link that's shown there. And this is, I guess the screenshot was highlighting the beginning of the process. So you have to join the community first, make sure a member, and then save your template files from Power Automate. Thank you, Eric, for that link. And there is documentation from Microsoft on how to share your flow, to export it, to get that zip file that you can then put into your community post to share it. And it's not too difficult. You just need to be in Power Automate, go into your flows, and then export as a zip package and name it. And once you've got that out, which will take a couple minutes for it to process, to get the information together and package it into that zip file.
Oh.
But once you hit export and mix your zip file, then you go to the community and write out the instructions in your post with your template attached in the Microsoft integrations discussion area of the Power Platform community. And once you've made that post, then send an email to the skyapi@blackbaud.com with a link to your community post that will let them know that it's in there and that it should be added into the template showcase.
I think one thing that I wanted to point out is do read over all the template showcase if you want to start a new Power Automate flow, because I very often download the flow and take a look at what some specific feature of the flow. You may not exactly need the whole flow, but you can take a look at how people implement a certain area of the flow. Like when I first did my FTP flow, I download somebody else's FTP flow and then I adapt it for myself. So basically, it's a very good way of, using other people's skill set for your environment and using other people's flow or work so that you don't have to do the hefty lifting and then figure out what the flow for each of the action is like. So I think it's very useful. Then this is all we have. And I want to stress that, very often you may be the only one that does Power Automate. Like Lauren, I think you're the only one in your organization. I have one other person that I share my flows with. And as I said, the community is out there to support you if you have questions. The community is very active. So if you submit questions to the community, you're bound to get people answering your questions. And we would like to see education management flows because there are a lot of flows with Razor's Edge. So we would like to see you submitting to education management, some education management flow. And Eric has a question about who is already using Power Automate. And Carolyn is saying that we just started looking at it. Power Automate, if your Microsoft environment and even if you're not in Microsoft environment, it also works in Google. So instead of writing to SharePoint, you can also write to a Google Drive. So Power Automate is in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about downloading Power Automate onto your desktop. So usually I run a cloud flow, so you don't have to worry about that. But what you need to worry about is if you developing the flow yourself, you have to, as Lauren said, get an extra account, find somebody else who you can share the flow with, because if you're on vacation and the flow fails, then people are trying to figure out, well, how can I go and fix the flow? So I think that's also very important. Are there any other questions? Are there questions that you have with regards to getting started with Power Automate? Let me see.
Yes. And I just want to add again with the Sky API documentation, I've found it really useful in my thinking process of here's a problem. I'm thinking of potential ways to solve it. Is the information that I need to pull out of the system available through an API endpoint? If so, which one do I need to pull in? The flows that I submitted only are pulling from advanced lists. I have not yet built out any that are directly relying on the Sky API endpoints, but I've been thinking about it, have some things that are sort of bubbling in the back of my brain about what to do. And the other thing that Vicki mentioned is looking at the templates and just try pulling one down that looks interesting and play around with it a little, see if it is going to do what you think it is, or if you add to it or change a piece of it, how that affects what it will do. Get your hands in there and get dirty.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Carolyn's asking, is your reporting centralized? We're pretty siloed due to our structure. So no one person has access to all Blackbaud products. You don't have to be centralized. The whole reason why we're using separate SharePoint folders and separate SharePoint groups is the fact that, the the Power Automate flow will then deposit the CSV file or the worksheet into the particular SharePoint folder that you have access to. So it could be siloed, but then if you wanted to extend that and build a Power BI reports over it, you can still be very siloed. But I'm putting a plug on my other presentation, but if you use a dashboard, you can pull all these different Power BI reports into one dashboards. So it could be siloed, it could be centralized. It's pretty flexible. I'm not the expert, so you may have to ask Microsoft about that. But yes, you can do that. And then, sorry, I can't see. And then how often do you make changes to your hard-coded API calls from within your flow? Not very often. Once I set it, I leave it. I've been using Lawrence Flow for over a year now. I don't think I have to. I don't think I made any changes to Lawrence Flow. I do have in one particular case, or in the Razor's Edge case, where you have to pull data from the FTP location. I would require to change the FTP the password to the FTP site monthly. So that's the only place that I have to do that. But otherwise, you can set your flow and leave it until you better build in your Power Automate flow if it fails, it'll send you a notification. Sometimes I don't catch all those notifications, but once in a while, if something is down and you can't write to that folder, then that's when the flow fails. So, but you can always, figure out what's going on. And Carolyn said, so to centralize. Okay, Lauren, you want to answer Carolyn's?
Oh, I was just going to add on to that for my enrollment and withdrawal flows. Really, the only updating that I need to do is the advanced list itself to make sure that it's pulling the current enrollment year and season. So we're getting accurate data out to people. And then if there are any staffing changes, then I'll just need to update the email addresses of the people who are receiving the information. But other than that, it really is very set it and forget it.
Yes, I cut down. I rewrote a couple of my files. Well, a couple of my flows are based off of my old Crystal report, and I don't have to find a scheduler for my Crystal report. I'm just using my Power Automate to extract the data.
And Carolyn, unfortunately, there is not currently an education connector, so it is either by pulling in advanced lists or individual school API endpoints to get information. But Eric does tell me that it's in the works, so anxiously awaiting that.
Yes, I think that will be very exciting. Good. Okay. So are there any more questions? Oh, thank you, John. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. I look forward to seeing downloading your flow from the template showcase.
Thank you, everyone, and look forward to seeing you in community and at the user groups and seeing what y'all come up with.
Yes, BBCon and UC in 2026. Thank you.
I'm going to launch a survey so we can get some feedback, which is always super golden for us to get. Take a minute.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please fill out the survey. And actually, we're in Ohio and we are having a user meetup on Thursday. So Eric, I'm sorry I have to miss the BB Dev days on that day. And I see that someone is coming to my coming to my school. So it's very exciting. Weather will be nice.
Awesome. Well, we can wrap up. I can leave the survey up for a few more minutes here. Make sure that we give everybody time to get those in. Thank you guys for exploring and sharing a little bit of your journey and some of the resources that we have here. And you know, I saw some folks are just starting to look into what's possible, and you know, continue the conversation. If you have questions, the Sky developer community is really the best place for you to get help, because you have folks like Vicky and Lauren and lots of other people who are in there and are eager to help you on your journey, and maybe even join you as co-conspirators.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.